The show's about to start.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of No Conduct Radio. We were supposed to be discussing this last week. However, we had to miss a show due to illness, so we didn't get to do it. But today we're talking about part 2, the do's and don'ts of getting married young. Last week was such an interesting topic discussion. And we actually went over talking about it, and we had so much more to say. And so many questions were coming in about getting married young also that hopefully we can get to those questions as well. I got a clip from last week's show, the end of last week's show. Logic was telling a story, and, we'll play the clip anyway. But we're going to be talking about what to expect. When you get married young, do you have a higher chance of marriage lasting? And if not, how could you change that? How to basically listen to yourself and not the rest of the world who says don't get married young. Why a lot of older people are so against getting married young. And Char is going to bring us her, her opinions of why you shouldn't get married young. So tonight we're joined with Char, Logic, and me. So far, BJ's late because, he's becoming a star, and we're not good enough for him anymore. But it's okay. And we also have a song, Turn It Around, by Ricky J. Condon, and our sponsor, Just Movie Posters, which will bring you the commercial later on in the show. Before we get started, how's everyone doing?
Pretty good. Getting through the week. Hello, hello, hello.
Ew. Did you hear that?
Did Logic say groovy? I couldn't understand the way. What did you say?
He said groovy, but did you hear how he said it, man? He was like, serial
it didn't
killer.
sound groovy. Right. It sounds like I have a dead body in the closet. I'm doing great. I have a dead body in the closet. I'm doing wonderful. Yes.
A serial killer. Okay.
Right. Where's the body hiding? Where is it hiding? In the closet or in the wall? Did you clean up the carpet, the blood stains of the carpet?
I think there's
no, you obviously are supposed to lay down plastic first.
Wait. Okay. Let's let Logic repeat his reply. What was that, Logic? I'm obviously what?
I said you obviously lay down plastic first, so you don't have to clean the carpet.
You're absolutely right. Yep. That's what you call an organized crime. Have you guys ever noticed how many messy killers there are? They don't even think. They're just like, oh, I'm not thinking, they're not going to find the blood or the DNA. They leave everything lying around the butcher knife is still there.
Murder. That's why.
Well, you mean the ones that don't get caught or that are not messy or the ones that are sloppy? Because there's always the village idiot who's not thinking when they, because they snap. And so they just leave all the gore everywhere. And everybody thinks, let's just move that one carpet that's over the carpet, but then as if blood won't soak through that little throw rug. And then they wrap the body in the throw rug and they still have the stain underneath the carpet that's laid there. There's just so many really stupid mistakes that criminals make.
These are the people I work with, folks.
Yeah. I'm watching way too many forensic shows, and they're so addicting after a while. Like For My Man, Killer Wives, Killer Women. You guys can see I'm on a roll here. No.
I mean, I love all those kind of shows. I love ID Channel. I love ID.
Yeah, that's so what Investigation ID or that. Yeah, well, yeah, I love all of them. Are we giving too much information though for some really disturbed individuals who may be listening? Like, aha.
I mean, you can find anything on the freaking internet. So we're not giving out anything that's not already there.
Okay. Well, just so you know, everybody out there, what I learned this week about people that protect themselves with murders. If you snag a trash bag or one of those grocery bags, the plastic ones that everybody gets these days, if you snag one of those out the kitchen before you do your dirty deed, there won't be any fingerprints. Now that I did learn this week. It's not a positive tip, but it definitely eliminates fingerprint though. That's all I got.
What? Repeat
okay,
that?
So the plastic bags, when you go to the grocery store, years ago, before you were born, Kai, or even Logic, before you guys were even thought of, right, there used to be like brown paper bags when you go to the grocery store, like when our parents were, growing up and all that. So, and even me, I guess, I can't barely remember that. But now the plastic bags that we all get, when we're at our grocery store, they're bagging your food and all that. So most people just kind of keep some of those lying around in their kitchen. Am I right so far? A few of those lying around somewhere, probably under your sink, right? So I was watching one of those investigative shows, and this guy, what he did was he looked in the kitchen because that's where the murder was going to happen. He knew he was going to stab the girl, but he looked in her, her drawer, and of course he found lots of those plastic bags. So he just put one over his hands so that there would be no fingerprints. Do you get it? Yeah. So yeah, interesting, right? I would have never, who's thinking of these things? But yeah. That's how he got away with it.
I would have just brought gloves. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. I guess it's just that, you know what? It could have been non-premeditated. Maybe that's why he didn't bring gloves. And maybe he just thought when he walked in, aha, I'm going to kill her. Let me just look for a grocery bag. Yeah, that's what happened, I think. I don't know.
But then
he got away with
even
it.
by the court of law, if he stopped to look for something so that he could block, evidence, that was premeditated murder,
right?
Because he stopped and thought about it. You had time to stop, think about it, say, hey, I'm doing something wrong. So that's premeditated murder either way.
But how can they prove that he stopped to actually think, let me look for a trash bag? You see what I'm saying? Or like
because
a grocery
that's
bag.
What he
how
did.
would they know that?
He stopped to look for a trash bag. He stopped and thought, hey, no fingerprints, and he got a trash bag. If you're doing it in the heat of the moment, or you claim temporary insanity, then you're just doing it.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about each and every meticulous step.
Right. That's true. Oh, my God.
And so we're going to stop this conversation now because I'm not going to incriminate myself.
It's getting a little creepy. I know, me neither.
You notice Logic isn't saying anything. It's just you and I talking.
Logic is like, I am not a plead the fifth. Well, that's all I got anyway.
Okay. Well, we're going to continue on. There's BJ right when we were about to get started. Awesome.
Hi, BJ. Welcome,
BJ.
welcome.
Yo.
Hey, BJ.
Hey.
You don't
Not you, too. What kind of hello was that? You and Logic today? It's like Logic did some groovy tidbit, and we don't know what you just said either. Was that a hello? Hi.
Hello, yeah. Long day.
Okay. You definitely get a pass.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah.
We need different guys on here,
What is going on, Kai?
I don't
guys
know. With some,
today.
I don't know. My God, it's so annoying. What's wrong with you?
Testosterone gives you energy, right? Isn't that what testosterone does? It gives men that that, hey, what's up? What's going on? A little more energy.
So you're saying they're lacking testosterone?
No, it's called the grind. No, it's called grinding. The grind is real. That's what it is. What?
Okay.
Testosterone.
Not from what she said. She said y'all ain't got enough testosterone.
Okay.
She's questioning your manhood.
Well, get a ticket to Philadelphia. Get a ticket to Philadelphia. You see how much testosterone it is.
No. Listen,
Damn.
None of that. BJ quickly defended himself. Did you guys notice? Hey, wait a minute.
Take a plane drive.
I'll leave that one alone.
Catch a plane.
I'll leave that one alone. I will leave that one alone.
Once again, Logic is just quiet. He's just like, I'll let BJ deal with it.
Logic is like, I am backing out gracefully. Oh, gosh. Okay. Next.
All right.
Getting a little heated.
As we stated as we stated last week, we were talking about, the do's and don'ts of getting married young. Char is completely against getting married young. And I'm going to just play just an ending clip. Logic was telling a story about one of his boys who married this girl or who was with this girl or whatever, and she left him, and then she came crawling back. And then BJ was basically pushing his point about people being in your business when it comes to marriage. So here we're going to play this little 2-minute clip real quick.
Tried to come back later. He has somebody else. And now she's a spinster.
Mm.
And she was blaming on getting married young.
God. You see, that was the other side of the family support. The other side of the family support, that's the other side that Elijah was telling you about. The family was telling her, you don't have to take this. Yeah, that's the other side of the support. You get both sides.
Yeah,
they were all
I know there's that side of the support, but when I say strong support, I mean her parents have been together for years and years, and they don't want his or her downfall. They want nothing but good things for them.
I know.
But we're going to continue this conversation next week because we didn't even delve into it as much as we should have. And I do want to tell a story about, like what Logic was saying, girls look for this, this, and this. I want to tell a story about that, and I want to continue where we are today. So I'm going to take a clip from where we ended, and we're going to talk about this next week. So we're still talking about the do's and don'ts of getting married young and proving Char completely wrong. Even though I want you to go, Char, and think about, you come back to us with evidence and information as to why, you do not think people should get married young. I don't want to just say I want to prove you wrong. I want the other end of it. So I want these young couples who want to get married in their 20s, I want them to have the full advice from an outside person, an outside entity giving them advice. Not your parents, not your friends, nothing like that, just from us. And then you can make your decision whether you want to get married young. So we're going to continue this conversation right here on No Conduct Radio, 6 p.m. Okay, so part of Char's thing about not getting married young, she was stating that basically what people say, you have your whole life ahead of you. But her points were, if you don't get married young, you have the opportunity to go to college. You have the opportunity to date around. There's less, according to Char, there's less of a chance for divorce if you get married after 30. But if you get married before 30, then, y'all grow apart, and the chance of divorce is higher. So, and I know Logic had a story to tell us about some guy, I guess one of his boys. His wife left him because of a graphic design job was outsourced or something, and he lost his job or something like that. So let me ask Char first. Char, were you able, don't give them all away now, but I'm just asking, were you able to get together some facts or opinions of why you believe, or factual data of why getting married young isn't good? Is Char there?
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't realize I was on. I didn't realize I was on mute. Excuse me. Okay, can you hear me now? Can you all hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah.
Seriously, very funny, BJ. Okay, so, and I was like, wah. You couldn't even hear. That was so funny. Okay, so besides the fact that I did say that part of my reasoning was due to my own experience, and the other part of it was just due to hearing other experiences from many other people over the years. But besides that, I did find a statistic here that 48% of those who marry before the age of 18 are likely to divorce within 10 years, compared to 25% of those who marry before the age of 25, 44, or 40. Wait, did they say 44? They say 60% of married couples that marry too young, it ends in divorce. So that basically they're saying there's always a higher risk because they're too young and immature. They haven't experienced life. I found this on lawyers.com, divorce.com, Psychology Today. There's numerous, statistical information to support my theory.
Which website exactly said what you just said? Was it Lawyers or was it Psychology?
Lawyers. That one is lawyers.com, and then it's www.wflawyers.com. The other one is, they're saying the best and worst ages of Psychology Today, and then they're saying
wait. They're saying what?
You're going to prove it. Go ahead. Okay.
They're saying what?
48% of those who marry before, I don't know where they got 18 from, because obviously that's like, come on, before the age of 18 are likely to divorce within 10 years, compared to 25% of those who marry after the age of 25. And 60% of couples that are married between the ages of 20 to 25 will end in divorce. That is from, it says Divorce Statistics and Facts. That is from wflawyers.com.
What is the percentage of people that marry after 25?
Oh, my gosh. Logic, one moment. Okay, right here. So it says don't shoot me if you're older than that and not married. Sorry, that was something else. I don't know where that came from. Something else that someone else said on there. So ages 20 to 25. So 60% of couples who marry between the ages of 20 to 25 will end in divorce. But 48% of those who marry by the age of 18 or at the age of 18 or so are likely to divorce.
Char, wait. You're talking way too fast. So 20 to 25 is 60%. What?
Okay, they're saying that
20 to 25 is 60%, and then above 25 is 40%, right?
Whatever. Just go.
Right. Yeah, but listen, at the same time, but there's something else that popped up. The perfect age, according to these statistics here, is between the ages of 28 and 32. If they don't want to get divorced, at least within the first 5 years. That's what they're saying.
BJ.
Hey, I didn't make this up.
Did you follow
anything
that she was saying?
Nope. It's like a circle. I'm like, what the? I ain't following nothing.
Oh, here it is. You guys, what happened was I couldn't find it because all this other stuff popped up. I found it again. So that's your question. It's right here.
Never mind. Never mind. Never mind.
Basically, they're supporting my theory, and they're saying that it's because their reasoning is because they're too young, they haven't experienced life, they're very immature, and they're going according to statistics of who stays married within a certain time period at a certain age. So there you have it.
That's not a huge difference between getting married. The statistics between getting married young and getting married older. I would have liked it to be like a bigger difference. That was maybe a 20% difference, which is really nothing.
Yeah, but it's always
one
out of two.
And also, that's the United States, where people push you not to get married young. So probably these people who are getting divorced don't have the support needed to continue with a marriage. More than likely they're hearing stuff like, I told you not to get married young. Instead of, well, you're supposed to listen to your mate in XYZ. Well, yeah, y'all changed. You need to blah, 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 blah. Maybe you should see a marriage counselor. It's more, I told you shouldn't have gotten married at 16 or 18 or whatever. That's all they're hearing. So I know people from other countries get married young, and usually they stay married.
Also, marriage statistics change when you're in a society that doesn't constantly overemphasize like things, materialistic things, like, oh, what kind of house do you live in, and what kind of, when you live in a culture or a society that the value system is other than money-driven things or, as I said, these materialistic items, marriage percentages tend to be drastically different than what they are in the first world.
Yep. Because, for instance, if you married young, obviously you don't have a lot of money for a big wedding. Then you have on the girls' side, you have the girls like, oh, you didn't have a big wedding? Oh, I'm having a big wedding. I'm this. Or is that only the size of the ring you have? If I had that size ring, I wouldn't be showing it off to anybody. You constantly have this in your ear.
I agree,
Char?
but did you guys think about the statistics? Hello, I'm here. Hello? Hello?
Go ahead. If we think about the statistics.
No. Yeah, because I never left. But no, I heard her say Char. Oh, okay. Did you guys think about this? So they're also stating the fact of statistics of people who don't stay married longer than 50 years. So they're saying the percentage of people in the United States, and you're right about it being different outside the United States, especially culturally, that makes sense. Less than 6% of Americans are staying married. I'm sorry. Less than 60% of Americans are married 50 years. 50 years plus, less than 6%. Why? They either die off or they divorced because they were married too young and they're just holding on. And a lot of those people
again,
that are married
it's
for 50
not
years
necessarily because they were married too young. It's more because of the culture, like Logic was saying. This is a materialistic culture. So you're always stressed about money. You're always stressed about keeping up with the Joneses. You know, my friend just went on a cruise. Why can't we go on a cruise? You're always stressed about that. And then your family's not making it any better. Your friends are not making it any better.
Also in this society, this is a culture that pushes women to try to stay fuckable into their 60s. They think they're supposed to be out shaking their asses and getting guys, numbers and whatever. It's like it's ridiculous. So, of course, when these women are like, what do they say? A woman hits her sexual prime at like 45 or something like that? Or after 35? It's something like that. I can't remember what it is. But it's like, you have these chicks that, you have these chicks that, they got married, they can get divorced, and they know due to the divorce laws, they're going to get the house, they're going to get alimony and whatever. So why would the incentive not be, I can cut loose of this guy that I've been with for 20 years that I'm bored of now because we've done it all. We've been here and done this, done that. I have nothing in common with this guy anymore, or so she perceives, because they're trying to act like you're still supposed to be staying up till dawn talking to each other as if you still got something to say after 27 years of marriage. I can't get enough of her. Why? Because Lifetime Channel tells you that, the R&B songs tell you that, and all of these movies, there's still these people doing romantic stuff. It's nonsense. No dude after 30 years is still going to be trying to bang his girl's back out. It's not happening.
Why? Because his back is already.
You're still young. 50 is the new 20. 50 is the same old 50.
50 is the same old 50.
That's not true.
But that's not what our society tells people.
Again, with everything you're saying, Logic, again, you have no support telling you something different. Everybody's agreeing with you. You may have, maybe there's one friend who tells you, hey, y'all have been married a while. Of course, it's not going to be the same as it used to be. You're going to have to put in some work to blah, blah, blah. You might have one friend.
And
but
that's
the
the
majority of your friends and family, they're going to be telling you something like, that's the one that's
and they ignore that friend that tells them that.
Exactly.
They ignore that. They ignore that friend because the other 20 friends online and on her phone are telling her, you need to get back out there. You're still young. There's women all the time getting married.
What's the best one? You can do so much better than that.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna tell you the funniest thing I heard. It was this chick that was on a scale of 1 to 10 was a solid 4, and she was about 40-something years old, and her 40-something-year-old ass was trying to she was disenfranchised with her relationship, and her friends were telling her, I heard this with my own ears, you live in New York. You know how many ball players and lawyers and how many top guys are in that town? And I'm like, and you think you're going to get one? It was crazy. It was the craziest
Not
thing
if
I
you're
ever
a
heard.
solid
So, of
four.
course, if they're saying that in New York, you know they're saying that in L.A., you know they're saying that in Miami. You know, it's like all of these towns where they think that all these high-level players are, especially L.A., these chicks from 60 down to 18 years old think that they're all going to get the top 10% of men who are power players, money makers, movers, physical specimens. They think they all, this is, if I can't have this, no, I don't even want it. Are you crazy?
Well, I kind of don't want to bulldoze over what Char just said. Not if you're a solid 4. Are you serious? It doesn't even matter if you're
How many
10.
women out there are 8 and above?
No, this is my point. It is a very physical, sexual world. And so that is true that, you know, if you are a woman who believes and that's your goal and you think you can snag one of these guys with all this money, fame, and success and all that, they're looking for. No, I know, but that is not realistic because here's why. Yes, they do want the younger, hotter chicks that are more like a solid, well, no one's really a solid 10 because everyone does have flaws. But what I'm saying is they may look like a 10 at the time, and yes, they're the ones that are going to get those men. But what happens is they trade them in for a newer model anyway after so many years. So everybody has their chance. I'm talking about these men who are marrying these football players, these celebrities, or the one like what the example you were using where they, you know, oh, there's all these. What did you say? You were saying like, oh, in New York they have all these.
But
you know,
but
these
do you know why the
reason?
You know what the reason for that is, Char? Is because that marriage is based on sex. It's not based on anything. That's what I said. When these guys with this money get these chicks coming after them, they know why these chicks are coming after them. They know it's because of their money and status. It's just like a woman that a man's money and his status is like a woman's boobs and her butt. Like if she's shaped like a cartoon character, and all of these guys are constantly falling. Hey, what you going? Oh, you got such a beautiful smile. She's been hearing that ever since she's been 15. So her mind is like, okay, yes, beautiful smile. Is that what it is? Yeah, I'm an interesting person. She knows it's nonsense. So she will juggle dudes until she can't anymore because beauty fades and it happens. Men, on the other hand, hit their stride later because women don't really run after men over physical stuff because women constantly, it doesn't matter if she looks like a pirate hooker. You know, she's going to get options for sex regardless of what she looks like because she's a woman. So usually hot guys, just being a hot guy is not going to get women like, oh, God, and they're pulling over it. Women don't act like that towards men. But if a man is rich or he has status, he knows exactly why all of these women are trying to talk to him. He knows it. So he's going to get the girl that he wants to smash the most, right? And then that time fades. And after about 10, 15 years where she's starting to, you know, the miles are starting to show up on her face, he's like, ugh. And there's another girl around, a little young, hotter version of her that's interested. Why? Because society's moral fabric has been worn, and now all of a sudden it's okay for a 20-year-old chick to date a 60-year-old man. Like nobody looks at it like it's like, ugh. You know, so, yeah, he kicks her out and gets another one. So there's no like, oh, he's just cashing her in. It is what it is. She got with him because he had money. He got with her because she had a body. That was no love there. That wasn't a real relationship.
Well,
and
I agree.
talking about the friend that I brought up last week or the week before, that chick left him, and he found a new career path and went back to school. And in order to get over the one that he was with, that had dumped him, he took vacations and started going to like Costa Rica and Panama, and he went to wow, ain't that expensive? It's easy to go there. But anyway, he was vacationing.
It's on my bucket. No, it's just on my bucket list. My girlfriend's there now. She just asked me from, showed me her room.
Let's get the story.
That's on your bucket list?
Yeah, it's on her bucket list.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
A plane ticket is like $600. You can do it. Get it done. Anyway, so Costa Rica. He went to Costa Rica. He went to Panama, and then he went to Colombia. He liked Colombia, so he kept going back to Colombia. He met a girl down there, and he's a regular guy. He's not rich, but he met a girl down there. Their society and their value system is totally different. They raise their daughters to respect men, not to look at them like they're less than. So this girl, I can't remember where he said he met her, but he kept going back, and he, kept linking back up with her. They eventually got together. He got her plane ticket, and she got a visa. She came back with him, and they eventually got married. Now, the original girl that left him, by this time, she's been ran through by Tinder and Plenty of Fish and all that, and she's now all of a sudden seen the light after she's been, busted all over town. So now she starts coming back, and it's this chick that's like 5 or 6 levels hotter than her, and that's his wife.
Oh,
and now
God.
She's like, oh. Now listen to the hypocrisy. He promptly tells her to, kick rocks and cut the corner, as well he should have. Her whole attitude towards it was, oh, he had to go overseas to go get another woman and invade with hell because he couldn't handle it. Yeah.
Wow, he couldn't handle what?
He couldn't handle the American
women. Please. American women.
That's the only thing she can come back with. Like,
whatever makes you feel better about yourself, lady.
But that's about it. That's what it has. Yeah.
But that's that's the attitude.
Are you kind
but that is
just a little. Well, go ahead. That is
the attitude though, because you hear a lot of women say that. Oh, he had to go get an Asian woman who will treat him like he doesn't want a woman that's going to talk about. Just assuming that for some reason all Asians are not going to tell their dudes to get out of their face or something when they don't feel like hearing anything. I have no idea why people have that perception of Asians, because you clearly haven't met Filipino chicks. But this is the attitude. They say the same thing about Arabs. They say the same thing about, oh, you just want a woman that's going to be in a corner. Really?
Okay.
Really?
No.
I think plane tickets is making the world small. That's what it is. And now there's options for a dude when he realizes I don't have to deal with this.
And now that you said the tickets are only $600, that's very doable. Well, Panama is only $348 on Spirit if you book now.
That's on your bucket list too.
No, Panama is not on the bucket list. That's not impossible. I just assumed that Costa Rica was bigger than, just more like, wow, oh my God, can I ever go there? No. Now that I know it's not that expensive, so no, Bora Bora's at the top anyway. That's off the subject, but
are
that's
we not
really
talking about
on the bucket list.
Places to go? Like, what's going on?
I think she's just talking about plane tickets now.
No, because Bernie said, oh, so Panama is on your bucket list too, and I'm like, BJ said, said.
Yo, she can never be on the CIA team. I'm blew my cover.
All right, BJ.
Get off my team.
Hey, Logic.
One to the head for you. One to the head.
I agree with. Okay, very funny. I agreed with everything Logic said. I was on the whole wavelength with all of that. But I did have one little qualm, one little bone to pick with you. Going back about 15 minutes ago, you were saying that if you're in a marriage and you're like 50 or something like that, you're like, if you're 50, you're not going to be banging your wife, like banging her out like that, and you're her back out and all that. That doesn't happen anymore. That's not true. I agree with you that when you're married for a while.
Char, stop it. What I said was, if a man has been married to a woman for like 30 years, that's not going to be his motivation. Like, I gotta knock her wig off her head because you've been with this girl for 3 decades.
You did that already.
No, I agree. I thought you said 50. I was like, please, all the 50-year-olds I know.
No, if you first meet each other and you just happen to be 50, listen, I'm pretty sure there's an older guy out there that's popping blue pills.
And that's what I was gonna say, because I think that's what she's going off of. You haven't been married to your
that's
dude
not
the
true.
past 40
That is
years.
not true.
Char.
No, that's not what I was saying.
It wasn't about you, Char.
No, that is not what I'm saying. I'm saying that 50 is the new, it's not the new 20, but it's the new 40. What?
Thank God.
Oh my God.
I'm just defending the 50-years out there not walking around with a walker.
Listen, Char,
exaggerating because they still have a great sex life. They're not 65.
Char, what we're saying, what we're saying is, you've been with someone for 30 years. That's a whole lifespan of a whole other person.
No,
30 years you're with someone. Unless you're, what's that woman on Golden Girls? Who did what's her name play?
Blanche.
Blanche, the really
no, not Blanche, not Blanche. The other one, the dumb one. Rose.
Oh, Betty White's character.
Betty White's character. Rose.
She was saying every single night, and she thought he was cheating on her one time because he didn't do it that one time, and they were all like every night. She was like, yes, doesn't everybody do that? So unless you're Rose, you're not going to get it every single night. Life gets in the way. You got kids. Kids are going to come home from school. You got to come home from work. You got to cook dinner. You got to go over homework. By the time you settle the kids down, you're done. You're done.
Oh, I agree.
I mean, you're not going to do it every single night, but you're still in a comfortable space where it's not a necessity unless you're a jackass.
Right.
Then those jackasses, they go and cheat, and that's what leads to divorce.
Right.
Yep.
That's true. That is very true.
But the problem is also if you are a part of a society that tells you the only thing that you should value in a relationship is money and sex, then
that's crazy.
That's when your relationship suffers because no one in your family.
That's crazy, but that's that's the society that we're in.
Oh yeah, because listen, I knew a girl. Her aunts and her mother used to tell her, "You got gold in between your legs. You should never be broke." And blah blah blah. They would teach these young women in their families that their coochie should be some sort of currency generator. You know what I mean?
ATM.
And then you have society now that the only thing that they ever talk about.
Hold that thought, Logic. I have actually been told that because when I was like 22, maybe. No, not from my family, but other women. When I was like 22, I'm sitting here working, no children. I'm working, and I'm seeing these girls come in with like they're going on all these shopping sprees and, you know, the places they live. And I'm like, how can you be working in the same place as me? And I can't buy like the same volume of clothes that you're buying. Like I'm grinding away. Granted, I save a lot. Like I used to save. That's how I was. But still, I didn't have any kids. They had kids. I didn't have kids. You know what I'm saying? We're making the same amount of money. How? So I finally asked somebody, like, I don't understand. How did you go on another shopping spree this weekend, and you went on vacation last week, and you're making the same amount as me? You're not in a relationship, and you have 2 children. And they told me this. They said, my mama taught me, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I was like, so you're selling yourself? And they were like, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. I just use what God gave me. And I was like, that was the first time I ever heard that. I was yes, I think I told myself. I was like, what?
And Char, trigger warning, but they make little cute names for it too. They call themselves sugar babies. They call themselves friends with benefits and whatever. But at the end of the day, you're smashing for money. That's what you're doing. You know?
Exactly.
It's ridiculous. You see these couples. You see these couples that have kids.
You're going to pay for pee either way. You're going to pay for pee either way. As a man, Logic.
Really?
You're going to pay for it anyway when you take
her
to dinner. If you take her to dinner, if you take that dinner, if you spend money for that, you're still paying for pee.
Char, the only people.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
The only people that
no
pay
difference.
are tricks. And the world ain't
true.
full of tricks.
If you take a woman to dinner,
I'm going to tell you right now, Char. I'm telling you, the only people that pay for it are tricks.
It will never, that will never
Hold
go
on. I have
over.
a
You
question.
sound ridiculous. You still got to pay. When you take on a date, you're paying. Yes.
Okay.
I hope I have
a serious question. So you're saying if you're with a guy for like 6 years, you're married, you maybe don't have kids or anything, but he took you to dinner because, I don't know, it was a Wednesday and y'all didn't have time for each other all week, and so finally y'all had time to sit down and he took you to dinner. You're calling that he just paid for it?
Do you realize that when you're courting, it's the same thing, whether you're courting or you're married? In order to get you, he paid for it first. He took you to dinner first to woo you. He wined and dined. You had to pay for the wine to woo you. He bought you gifts to woo you. So that's what it is, and then he gets it. And then it's even plain till once you're married. It's even plain till once you're married.
You got when she slowed down.
I can't hear over the nagging.
I know you got with that.
It's an even plain till once you're married. But the courting stage, yes, he's paid for it. Absolutely, everybody is.
So BJ, remember we had a slight disagreement some episodes back when you were saying, what was it? You wanted sex within the first year or something like that, and I was like, well, what if the girl you're with doesn't want to do that, blah 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 blah, but you are taking her on dates, and she offers to pay half or pay her own way or all that stuff. Because you're getting to know each other. And I was like, you're getting to know each other, so I don't see why we should sleep together if we're getting to know each other. Remember?
I vaguely remember, but go ahead with that year. I don't think I would say it.
Okay.
Wait
well,
for a year.
My question is, so if you're still not getting it, you're getting to know each other. She offers to pay some of the dates. I want to take you out. I'm taking you out. You're not paying for this movie. You're taking me out. You're paying for it.
Okay.
This and this.
Yeah.
So to Char, that's still paying for it because you're getting to know each other?
You can put a cute spin on it if you want. It's the same thing. Until you get that woman as your wife, which you're on an even playing field at that time, there is no other impressions that have to be made. She loves and trusts you for who you are.
So what you're telling me, Char,
you're willing there, you're paying for it, period.
So what you're telling me, Char, is you're absolutely, unequivocally no different than a freaking porn star then.
No, I'm saying every single woman on the entire earth who is dating or being courted is no different because every single man, with the exception, let me finish.
So you're saying a woman who never had sex until she was married. You're saying a woman who never had sex until she was married is the equivalent of a hooker.
Where are you guys getting sex from? I never said anything about me having sex specifically.
When did you having sex? What?
Okay, then where is that coming? Where's the hooker coming from? That's what I'm asking. Where's that coming from?
I
never said anything about that.
She's saying because you're putting money up and you're not exchanging sex, it's not hooking. But what you're getting wrong about this process is courting doesn't always mean money. In some places, when people don't have a lot of money, like I remember I was watching this documentary about Mongolia. They're poor. They're crazy poor up there. But the way they court is the guy comes and he tells the family his intentions or whatever, and the families tend to meet up with each other and have dinner, and they supervise, while they talk. There's no money being exchanged. He's not giving her money or taking her somewhere, but he is courting her. The courting process is getting to know the person to see if you two have chemistry and you can have a good match together. It doesnes always mean money. But in this society,
we don't have
if you were to come to
in those villages at all, so that's not even an example. That does not apply.
There's whores everywhere. No. Don't get that twisted. There's whores everywhere.
There aren't sugar babies.
There's whores
in those villages. We're talking about the United States. We're talking about the culture here, in which which men take a woman
I'm giving you an example of what I'm talking about. Okay, all right. Let's get off of Mongolia. Let's get off of Mongolia.
Please.
I spent time in Jordan. I spend time in Jordan. That society is the same way, where the boy will talk to the father will talk to the family, see what kind of family he comes from, and vice versa. They'll look at her family, and then they'll meet up, and there will be family events surrounding this couple, and so they will get to talk and get to know each other before they move on into whatever they move on to, or it doesn't work out, whatever way it goes. That's a major country.
Okay, describe events. Describe events. What do you mean, like a feast, for example, celebration? What do you mean by event?
Maybe if there's a celebration, sometimes if there's something going on at the mosque.
There is some type of investment involved.
There is no money involved.
Wow.
It's still, but celebrations, events, people are still putting something into it. That whether it's tangible or intangible exchange.
You're not listening to me. You're not listening to me.
You're splitting hairs. That's ridiculous.
Char, you're not listening to me.
Put on what they're presenting to that bride. I mean, to that woman that's being courted, the possible bride. Are you
done?
Go ahead.
If you think that these families would not eat dinner if this person wasn't being courted, you're out of your mind. I'm talking dinner. You're going to eat dinner anyway. If there's something going on at their local mosque, they will go anyway. But if these two are courting, they go as a family. And they supervise. They send an older brother or an older sister or a father or whoever. Well, if it's their turn that time, they send them along with that young whoever for these two to talk and make sure that they ain't smashing behind a bush somewhere. You know what I mean? Because they still have old school values. You know what I mean? But there's no money being used unless you want to.
That sounds cordial. That sounds beautiful. It does, but it has nothing to do with American culture. We're talking about what people do here.
We're not just the point that we're making in this conversation.
That's the only thing we were talking about.
The point that I'm making is that courting.
I heard prostitution. I heard, comparable to prostitution. I heard sugar babies, all that. All I said was, if you take a woman out in America to court her, you are going to spend money one way or the other to woo her. That's what I said. I'm not talking about. That's a beautiful thing what they do over there because I think it's very respectful. I really do. I think it's beautiful, and it's tradition. I love tradition. That has nothing to do with where our argument was here stateside. Okay, let's move on, please.
Wow. Okay. My point being is that the definition of courting.
He still has a point.
Because you're getting the term wrong. Courting has nothing to do with the exchange of money. That's my point. Courting has to do with getting to
sugar babies, then, because that's what we were talking about. You guys are bringing up sugar babies and prostitution, and do I think that's what Kai said? Do you think that, Char, every woman in America who is being, I forgot what she said. My point was this: when you take a woman on a date in the United States, you are going to, even if that woman spends money, sometimes like Kai said, BJ, what if the woman says, I will pay for it? Women will offer to pay sometimes, but traditionally, for the most part, men are putting money out that they're not looking at it like that. That's exactly what they're doing.
What we're discussing is that you made a statement and you said that a man is going to have to pay for it anyway. My retort to you was only tricks pay for it, in which BJ agreed.
You said that.
Then you said, hold on. Then you said, oh, well, when you go out on the dates and you're courting or whatever, it's the same thing. Then I said courting has nothing to do with money. And then that's when I was giving you these examples. You start getting frustrated and flustered and was like, no, we're talking about sugar babies. So we're going back to sugar babies. Sugar babies are whores and prostitutes. They're trying to give it cute names, but that's what it is. It has nothing.
I hear what you're saying, but what does that have to do with anything? If that woman's sleeping with that guy or not sleeping with that guy, if she's a sugar baby, if she's a high class hoe, whatever she does,
it has to do with what it has to do with
sleep with you while you're courting her.
What it has to do with is my statement in saying that only tricks pay for it.
There is no difference. There is no difference. You take a woman out to dinner. You even tell some men will tell their boys, I want to take Sheila out Friday, but I don't have any money because I want to be able to take her to a nice dinner. I want to buy her some flowers, or I want to, or you're into the relationship 6 months. I want to surprise her with a trip.
And guess what? Listen. And guess what? Guess what? Okay, Char. And here's the thing. If the man is approaching the situation by thinking, I have to spend this much money and this much money and this much money and this much money in order to get this girl to like me, he's a trick.
No,
that's
that's
my
not
point.
True, because if you're
but
if you're generally
I'm
getting to know a girl and you've never had a chance to take her out, how are you stressing over money? I said this a general scenario is you get to know someone. The first thing you do is ask her to go out on a date. Okay, she says yes. You take her to dinner. You know you got to have so much in your pocket to pay for the dinner.
Stop.
It's just that simple.
I don't. If I meet a girl and I'm trying to assess whether she's worth my time, I don't take you to dinner. I don't know if you're worth dinner.
Eventually, if you're dating or if you're courting her, you're obviously not courting her at that point. You're assessing her. There's a difference. You're assessing her. You just said if you meet a girl, you have to assess her first. Obviously, if you don't feel like she's worth it, then you're not going to ask her out on a date. But a date, what does a date mean to you? Give me an example of just a general date for you. Where would you go? What would you do?
What the hell? Are you talking about somebody who I've already assessed is worth my time? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, exactly. Yes, you've already assessed they're worth your time, and now you're ready to take it to another level and ask her to go on a date.
Okay. If I have already assessed that this girl is worth my time, obviously I will be thinking about her for, maybe I can build something for the future. Where then it depends on what I feel like doing and what she's into doing. You know what I mean? And then we go from there.
Go to a restaurant. What the heck are you talking about? Is it that serious for you? You got to go
not all the time.
Not all the restaurant all the time.
Oh my God.
Char, you think the only first step to take in a date is a restaurant? That's the only thing?
No, I'm giving you an example. You can go to a movie, you can go to a park, you can have a picnic. It doesn't matter. That's not the point. You can go to a museum. What I'm saying is, why do you have to get to the point in your head where you can see a future with her? That is, how do you know until you get to know her better?
Thing. You don't want to,
and that's why,
know she's crazy or not.
Okay, so all right, so you in your mind, okay. So in your mind, I should be spending money on a chick that I don't even feel I have any kind of possible future with? That's what you think?
I did not say that. You should have a possible, but you're not sitting here thinking already future. How do you know until you give it an honest chance to get to know her? That is ridiculous.
Do you think that in my mind I'm planning a wedding or something like that? I didn't say that.
That's how you're making it sound.
I said I have to assess if this person is worth my time.
Yeah.
And then if I get to the point where I think, I might have a possible future with this person, then I start thinking about dates.
Oh, my gosh.
That's what I
said. How long is this process? 6 months? Okay, let me ask you this. BJ, please join in. You mean you're talking to men?
Oh, you didn't hear me?
No, I want you to really stay in the conversation, please, because I need you on this, okay? This is my question to both the men on the panel. No, all the men on the panel, because we have lots of men that listen. Here's my question. You guys, do you ever spontaneously walk up to a girl because you feel like I may not ever see her again, say some lovely words, let me finish, something very true, how you feel at the moment. You've never spontaneously just said, hi, excuse me, can we exchange numbers? Or what is your name or whatever? And the next thing you know, you get her number, and then you call her back, you talk on the phone, and eventually over maybe a third phone call that week or something, hey, would you like to go out to such and such? You mean to tell me you have never spontaneously asked a woman out that you didn't know for 6 weeks first? That's not being thirsty.
Yes, I have spontaneously walked up to a beautiful girl, and I have exchanged numbers, but I don't first of all, I'm not talking to you 2 or 3 times that week. If I call you, it's only to set up a meeting. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, okay, you got time or whatever, and that's it. I'm not talking to you for the rest of the week until we see each other. You know what I mean? And when we see each other, that's when I'll say.
Where would that be? At Starbucks, for example? There's nothing wrong with Starbucks.
Yeah, a cup of coffee, or I'm not coming out my pocket for ducats because I don't know who you are. I have to know who you are first. If I meet you.
Starbucks, you still spent $10. That's what I'm trying to say to you.
I'm not buying. Do you think I'm buying her coffee? Do you wait a minute? Do you think I'm buying her coffee? She
So
can't buy her own coffee?
Sure she can, but being a gentleman, you don't think that would extend to...
Listen, look, I'm tell you right now. See, this is exactly why I do this. This is exactly why I do this. If I get to Saxby's or if I go to Starbucks and she has an attitude because I don't buy her a $3 coffee, I never talk to this chick again.
Actually,
she's out of her mind.
Starbucks would be a $10 coffee. That's my point. My point is this. I don't buy back to these, but Starbucks $10 coffee. All I'm saying is this: I don't believe you. I think you're saying this for radio. I think so. I really believe that the real logic would say, you know what? Can I get you something, sweet? Would you like a coffee? Oh, I got it. Order with it. Get whatever. You can even get a Danish with it if you want. The real logic. That's the real logic. That's the real logic. Kai,
if she thinks, number one, I would just spend $10 on a stranger, and number two, if I have a, I'm not even.
Look, let me tell you a story.
Kai, you know how.
Let me tell you a story. Hold on.
Answer with
Let me tell you a story.
Okay.
Let me tell you a story about Logic. Logic was with this girl for, I don't know, maybe it was 5 years by that time, and I caught him explaining something to her, like why he did something, and I looked at him and I was like, since the F when do you explain to women? He was with this girl for 5 years, and that shocked me, and that shocked him. So for him to do that with somebody he was with for 5 years, you think some girl he met for 2 seconds he's about to spend some money on? Please.
Okay, well, maybe him moving along a little slower. BJ, what's your take on that? I hear what you're saying.
Let me let you know. Logic is not like all the little bums that you're used to seeing around town. So... And it strikes me that BJ isn't the same way either. So, I mean,
BJ,
you're going by your norm.
What?
They have a different
BJ,
norm.
answer the question. No, let BJ answer. BJ, would you simply offer to buy the girl coffee, for crying out loud, if you invited her to an event, which is a meeting, so you can get to know her a little bit better and have some conversation? An event.
Wait a minute. You're saying an invited to an event? That sounds like a date.
No, I see BJ when he invites women to events. He's like, "Hey, I got something special for you." They're like, "Oh, seriously?" He's like, "Yeah, here's a dress." Then he takes a picture and puts that one on social media. He's like, "Look at the dress from my phone line."
Take it off and take it right off her too.
No, BJ. Just your size too.
You can't have it. You can't have it. This was my publicity, my promotion. See you later. Hell yeah, ain't nothing free over here. Nothing's free. Nothing's free. I know. No.
BJ, you had a pair of shoes just in case she was the one, right? In your car, in your trunk, like.
No, he doesn't care who you are. He's helping to sell his brand. That's what he's doing.
Exactly. I get every day. Can I get something wear free for the event? Nope. Nothing
right.
Free. You can rent it. You can rent it. That's half of the price of it.
Put it on, and I can take a picture, and you can pretend that you're wearing it. Advertise it on your social media.
That's free publicity for her.
Look,
listen, I'm telling you, I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad at Char for this thought process she has, because most dudes out here don't think of themselves.
Because that's the majority of dudes.
That's tricks, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the dude that she's with is a trick. If that's how she feels, he's been tricking on her for years, and now.
Hey.
No, ain't no hey.
Watch it.
You just said.
No, we're
unequivocally.
We're not going by that we know him. We're going by what you're saying.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. No. Everybody, wait a minute. Everybody stop. Everybody stop. Okay, so if he is different, why did you give me so much pushback?
Thank you.
Because you're not being honest with yourself. Because you know darn well.
How am I not being honest if you've already experienced it with the dude that you're with?
No, I said you. I'm not talking about him. You're still a man, and you're still.
Oh, so you think that your dude is on a level that I can't be on? Is that what you think, Char?
You're not being honest about. No, I think you're not being honest about being on the same level as all the men are. All men pay for tea. Period.
Do you hear the double talk coming from this woman?
Whether you pay for it over a plate of spaghetti, okay, or whether you go to a park and buy the food for the picnic and supply her. Don't act like you don't do it because you do it.
So if you fly to Philly and I pay for dinner, so you mean I'll probably expecting something from you?
You're still paying for pay. Are you kidding me?
Hold on.
Because you're wooing her. You're trying to get her attention.
Everybody, we got to go to commercial. Let's take a breather. Let's take a breather. We got to go to commercial. I just want to take this second that there's a quiet time to say this right here and what Char is saying, this is why young marriages fail, because they have an aunt or a mother or a grandmother or a friend or somebody like that that's saying stuff like this to them all the time. This is why young marriages fail. But anyway,
not true. They're broke.
Okay, but anyways, we're gonna go to commercial, and if you want to get your thought in, you can text us at 484-840-3627. That's 484-840-3627. So we're going to go to a commercial for just movie posters, and then after that is the song Turn It Around by Ricky J. Condon. And you can find both on our website right now, www.noconduct.com. We'll be right back.
A bare wall doesn't qualify as art, but a movie poster does. The place to get a movie poster to decorate your wall is justmovieposters.com. There are posters for dramas, rom-coms, blockbusters, and more. Most items are priced between $7 to $15 plus shipping. Go to www.justmovieposters.com to find the movie poster of your dreams today. That's www.justmovieposters.com.
Nothing gold can ever stay. Doctor, take a look inside my head. I'm standing on the edge. I'm tired of people walking over me. Somebody pinch me awake. This must be a dream. She said there's always someone better waiting for her. I was so lucky that I got her as soon as I could. The weight of all our problems are bringing me down. I wish there could be a way that I can turn things around. And I never felt this way, but nothing gold can ever stay. Doctor, take a look inside my head. I'm standing on the edge. Everyone, turn around! Turn around! Nothing gold can ever stay. Doctor, take a look inside my head. I'm standing on the edge.
What a compromise. No.
And we're back. And that was Turn It Around by Ricky J. Condon. You can go to our website, www.noconduct.com, and find out more about Ricky J. Condon. When we first came back, I couldn't hear myself in my headphones. That was weird. Anyways, so if you want to chime in on this topic, do's and don'ts of getting married young, if you agree with Char, if you don't agree with Char, and I'm actually going to put out a poll after the show about how many people worldwide agree with getting married young, yes or no. Do you agree with getting married young? But anyways, if you want to chime in, you can text us at 484-840-3627, 484-840-3627. So before the break, I was saying that, you know, the way Char is presenting relationships on a whole, to me, it is one of the reasons why young people don't stay married, because they have people like this in their lives telling them that this is what marriage or relationships is about. It's not really,
or apparently
you don't really
courting.
get positive. I'm sorry?
I said, and apparently courting.
I mean, yeah, you don't really get positive vibes from people when it comes to being in a long-term relationship, to being married, anything. You know, my experience is girls are always telling you to cheat, always telling you there's something better, always telling you that, you know, even if the guy's working a lot, you know, trying to pay the bills and they're taking care of every situation that you have pop up, you know, maybe you should just find something else in the meantime while he can't pipe you down every night, I guess. You shouldn't get married young because from the girl's point of view, this is coming from what I've been told, is because, you know, you never know if there's better dick out there, so you need to go out and see what's out there. So many things. And like Logic said, is, you know, they put a lot of value on materialistic things, like where are you going to live? Are you going to live in an apartment the rest of your life? You know, what's he going to do for a living? You know, like you're supposed to always marry like a doctor or something. If you're just marrying like a regular schmo who dreams of being a history teacher, like that's horrible, because how's he going to support you and the children? And, you know, it's like you don't really get a lot of positive reinforcement. And I'm just going to say here in the United States, because that's all I know, but you don't really get a lot of positive reinforcement when it comes to marriage here in the United States. For the most part, I'll say 70% you get negative talk. And then maybe half of the rest of the percentage is maybe just neutral, like, I'm just waiting to see what happens. And then you have maybe 5% of people that are in your corner when it comes to your relationship.
Okay, well, I agree with that. But just so that we're all – just go ahead.
Go ahead.
Just so that we're – thank you, Logic. Just so we're all clear on this, statistically, the number one reason for divorce is lack of communication, and very often lack of communication due to finances. That's the number one reason. If you guys are interested, I can post this. There's 10 most common reasons people get divorced, and that's the number one. And this is all over the place. This is not just the internet. It's been that way for a long time, statistically or otherwise. So just so that we all know, it's based on that first. It's why people tend to divorce 1 out of 2 in the United States. Okay?
Can I pose this question now?
Absolutely.
These two people that got together that end up divorcing over money, they didn't know they was broke when they first got together?
No, Logic, I'm saying this is you just
No. I'm not asking you to defend the statistic. What I'm saying, my point that I'm trying to make here,
communication.
We have no, in this country, there's no importance put on stick to it. Continue to build your relationship. If you're broke when you get together, how can you be mad enough to get divorced when you're broke when you're married? You were broke when you got together. You know what I'm saying? So whatever reason you got together, first of all, let it be the right reason you get with somebody. A lot of the time people get together because the sex is good, you know, especially if they're broke. You know, so if you're basing your relationship on sex, then what it is You were basically a prolonged one-night stand. You didn't get together for the right reasons in the first place. The reason they try to say when they get divorced, they don't want to feel like a whore and say, look, I'm just tired of them. They want to say, oh, it's finances. Okay, so what? You met a guy that owns an emerald mine, and now it's time to move on? Like, what happened? More than likely, the people that you're going
about your art. No, that's not what they mean by finances. When they're miscommunicating over finances, it's because of who's spending what and maybe not sharing and communicating about what you're spending money on.
All right,
it's
Char.
not a matter of being broke. You can have $2 between the two of you, but if
nobody's going to argue about having too much money. That's not what they're arguing about. They're arguing about they can't afford.
No, that's not it. That's not it. It's not communicating in your spending.
Am I talking
is what
Chinese
they're saying.
Here?
Yes, you are.
Mandarin.
You probably do know Cantonese.
Mandarin.
I'm sure Cantonese.
I don't understand why you're giving me pushback on this. Any person that breaks up with another person and they say finances is the problem, it's because they don't have enough of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
it's not. Here's my question. Here's my question. Do you think two people?
We're talking about communication.
All right, Char, listen to me, Char. Listen. Do you think 2 millionaires that get married are going to divorce because they're not communicating about what they're buying?
That's not true. That is not
I'm
true.
asking a question.
No,
if two millionaires, listen, wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Let's say in Fantasyland, Jeff Bezos and Oprah got together, 2 billionaires, and they get a house together. House is paid off, obviously, because they're both billionaires in their own right. Do you think they're going to break up because, hey, she bought a piano and didn't tell me? Or, well, he bought a plane and didn't tell me. Do you think they're breaking up over that?
No, but the average person can't buy a plane, so that's not who they're speaking
about.
All
right. So it goes back. To exactly what I said. You're breaking up because you're poor, because you are fighting about you got some boots, but we can't pay the Comcast bill and blah, blah, blah. You were broke when you got together.
Then
so why all of a sudden is it?
You're both financially stable before you get married. So if you get married at 19 and 22, you didn't have a chance to build your career so that you can be financially stable. And maybe there won't be arguments based on being broke because you both come into the marriage knowing that you have your own careers established because you didn't wait. because you waited until you were mature enough to be stable in your actual career. To get married. That's my whole point. That's what I said last week.
Well, I guess all you got to do is write a book for the 60% of people out there that's breaking up because they don't realize they both need a career. Write that book.
No, the whole point is when you're too young, you don't even give yourself that opportunity yet. And then you wonder why people are fighting over being broke.
Hey, BJ, when you were 19, did you know that you needed a job and be able to pay your rent? Did you know that? Because I'm pretty sure I knew that.
I knew that.
No, BJ, I'm sure BJ
hey, Kai,
knew that. But why
when you moved out the house, did you know that you needed to keep a steady job so you could pay your rent
and eat?
I was shocked actually when I got out there. I thought I could use whatever my mama gave me, and I guess every guy that I went out with was paying with all my meals, and I was kind of shocked that I had to work.
Well, you know what? Somebody needs to get in contact with Kim Kardashian because all she needed to do was get a career, and it would have worked out with all of those guys that she got with.
Is that we know we have to be responsible when we get out there at 18 on our own. I'm talking about bringing in a brood of like a family and all these kids. That's what I'm saying.
Kim Kardashian didn't tell her she needed to get a job.
So.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything? She was pretty much born into all that.
Let me ask you, Char. I'm going to ask you first. Mm-hmm. What do you personally think the number one reason is that young couples who get married at maybe let's say 20 don't stay together?
Immaturity.
What does that mean?
Not ready to settle down, not ready to be committed, not realizing it, getting married for sex. Getting married because you thought you were in lust. Getting married because you didn't have an opportunity to have a career, to go to school, to do things you need to do with your life, to even find out who you are first. okay, and then getting pregnant too soon. Now you're going to raise a baby when you are a baby. A lot of those reasons. Those are my reasons.
How long does it take to find out who you are?
Yeah, and you got
Who
to 19,
knows?
18.
But you don't know at 18.
Hold on.
Okay, so wait. So in this process of finding out who you are you smashing randoms along the way?
Not necessarily, no. That's not necessarily
Not
any part of anything.
No,
everybody doesn't think logic. No, logic. You think that every woman that's single, no, because logic, stop y'all.
Once in a while,
Logic
she
thinks
made
that
her
every single woman, logic thinks every single woman is out there smashing, and that's not true. That's why I said not necessarily. Yes, there are lots of thoughts out there, but everybody's not a thought.
You still said it.
No, not necessarily means that's not necessarily how it is for everybody. Everybody doesn't have to be out there like that. They could be taking their time, going to school. Maybe they're in church. Maybe they're involved into their community somehow. Maybe they volunteer. Maybe they're doing other things that are mature to go towards who it is they want to be. Everybody is not out there in their head and not have any idea of what they want to do with their life.
Besides people who are physically crippled, people who are super ugly, and people who are hyper religious. Everyone else, especially if she has a coochie, is getting dicked.
I don't agree with that.
You don't agree? Have you ever seen? Wait a minute. Have you ever seen the monsters that come down and get their food stamps? Those horrible, ugly women who have children. That means somebody smashed them raw.
No, you're right.
More than once.
I had to.
You are out of your mind if you think an average-looking girl does not have her pick of dick. Yeah. You are crazy. I don't care how much she studies. I don't care how nerdy she is. That's an actual category in porn, by the way. I don't care how much she devotes her time to homeless people. She is getting smashed by somebody.
Okay, I agree with that.
You have this idea of youth, like, oh, you're just trying to figure out the problem with young people are. They're whores. Men and women. They're whores.
Yeah.
So when they get into relationships and relationships start to get serious where you have to be patient and understanding and be considerate for someone else's times and you're not getting what you want immediately and you're living in a society that says you should have what you want all the time, every time, whenever you want it. You should go online and do what? That's why these people don't commit. That's the reason why the divorce rate is getting higher and higher and higher. It's not a coincidence. It's not like women back in the 40s were more virtuous just because it was the 40s. It was because they didn't have options. But now, after the 50s and the 60s, and they start taking their bras off and burning them and saying, yeah, free love, I can go out and smash them, it starts to get progressively worse because society is holding no code. Like before in the 90s, if a woman went out and openly said that she smashed dudes and she tapes it and whatever, she would be a pariah. She would never have a career. Kim Kardashian and Amber Rose are thriving because the moral fiber of this country has changed. We applaud whores now. We actually want to hear their opinion about stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, they have
crazy
talk
town.
shows now. I get what you're saying, yeah. Well, that's true. That is true. Outside of super religious, super nerdy, and all that. That is true. I mean, it's sad, but it's true. Yeah. So, okay, bravo.
You're correct.
Absolutely correct. No, he's right. I mean, when you think about it, just think about it. You're 18. If somebody's already trying to ride up in there, it's always something. What do you do? I mean, it's maybe you should get married just so that you're not in that.
Before 18 now.
Oh well, yeah, that's yeah.
And then you got these old dudes driving around with their pension checks. You know, like, hey, I can help you with your cell phone.
And pulling them.
And the girls are going for it because nobody no longer will point at her and say, "Ew, you sucking civil rights dick." Ew.
Well, listen. women in their late 50s who have the nerve to be bragging about their sugar daddy who gets his pension check. And so he gives her all his pension check. And you're like, that is disgusting. When you thinking about it, like,
in the 50s, that's not about.
No, yeah, she's got 3 toes in the grave. He has a bad hip. And she's like, oh, girl, I'm going to go get my pension check with my sugar daddy. You're what? You're 50. Oh, my God. But I've heard several people talk like that, and that really is disgusting. It starts at 18. It starts then. Yeah.
But the thing is that we're laughing about it, but the thing is, you laugh about it, like, because you hear this. I'm saying you hear this, but do you ever tell them this to their face, or you just laugh behind their back? Like,
no. I actually no. See, here's the thing. I do say something. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I know that these are low down women in the hood, and I hate to say it like that, who don't have any self-esteem anyway, who are fat and sloppy, and don't have. No, I'm just telling the people that I see personally that are doing this, especially the ones talking about an older man that has a pension check and they're already 50. I'm not talking about the younger girls. The younger girls are 18. That's different.
What do you say?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What do you say?
To me, it's just appalling. I just think it's appalling because you're that old and you're getting a pension check from this man that's like, 20 years older. It just seems disgusting to me, and that manner, the way that they're saying it. I think, it's still bad. I'm just saying it. To me, this is the new norm for these women. That's what I'm saying. It's obvious and clear that there's some man riding around with his pension check and wants to hit an 18-year-old and smash her. I'm saying, believe it or not, women have come to an all-time low of women that are in their 50s doing the same thing. That's my point, except with these men that could barely take care of themselves, but they give their pension to some older woman to try to spoil her and get her. What are you trying to get her for? For what? And why can't that woman work and do for herself at 50-something? That's my point. So it's a little different. That's all I was saying.
So, Logic.
Okay.
Drastic changes of topic.
Somebody jump in there.
Did you ever get to the story about your friend who didn't get or who lost his job as a graphic designer?
You said that I what?
Did you get to that story?
I told you he went to Columbia, met the girl.
He is the one who went to Columbia. Okay.
Yeah.
So
no, he went to Cartagena.
Okay.
Logic said
I had a friend who he just wanted to get married. His whole thing was he wanted a family, and he wasn't one of those guys that went out and just smashed a bunch of girls, all of this stuff like. So we were in our early 20s, and he's looking for a girl. So being that I'm his friend, I started trying to help him out because he's a good guy. And the stories that I heard from women as to why they wouldn't get with him, it wasn't anything dealing with his looks. It was always money. So he lived, and I think I brought this up earlier, like in a previous episode, but he lived with his grandmother. But he lived with his grandmother because she couldn't work and she wasn't getting enough money to pay for her house. So he would put his whole paycheck into her house. So he didn't have a car. He bought
moral
his grandmother
decency
and paid
means
for her
nothing
cell
to
phone.
women.
He bought he bought his grandmother's cell phone and paid her bill. He paid all her house bills, her mortgage, her what do you call that? The taxes at the end of the. He paid all of that. So really, his whole check went into his grandmother taking care of her. And he did so because of that. He didn't have his own place. He didn't have a car. But that didn't mean he was a bum. He got on the bus and went wherever he needed to go. He went to the grocery store for his grandmother. He went to work. He was never late for work. I had a car, and I was always late for work. He was never late for work. He did everything that on paper he's a great guy. But every time I would try and introduce him to somebody, first thing before even meeting him, I remember this girl was like, "He ain't got no car." I was like, no, but that doesn't stop him from getting around. He still gets around, but he doesn't have a car because of X, Y, and Z. And I was telling them why he doesn't have a car.
This is pre-Uber, right?
Yeah. So this was like early 2000s because I was in my early 20s.
Oh, okay.
And he's only a year older than me.
Way pre-Uber.
Yeah, he's only a year older than me, so but the girl actually said, "I don't want no dude who doesn't have his own ride. I don't care the reason."
I heard that too.
Another one said he lives with his grandmother. And I was like, yeah, he lives with his grandmother, but it's because he's taking care of his grandmother. It's not like he's just, a bum, I'm just living with my No, he actually takes care of his grandmother. And these are traits that I would think that any woman would look for, like, oh, my gosh, he spends his whole check taking care of his grandmother. How is he going to treat me? This is what I would think. But, no, he doesn't have his own place. I don't want to
see that positively. Wow, that's a shame. He has a good heart, too. Yes, I would.
So.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
I thought you said
no, you wouldn't. Because if I came up to you and I said, I have a friend.
Not if you were 20, Char.
If I came up to you.
Yeah, that's true. I can
it doesn't make it. My husband didn't have money. Like, he was in the military, but it wasn't like he was a captain or anything. I just loved him. When I was young, it was all for love anyway, and it always was. It's just that I don't look at people like that.
Well, that doesn't count because you were in an abusive relationship, so you don't know what you would have really thought.
No, that's not true either, because the abuse was one part of this person that didn't even come out for years until it wasn't like he started out like that. So when I first fell in love with him, I fell in love with him for who he was. Just think about it. We don't know we don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know that. What I'm saying is, when I met my ex-husband, had he been taking care of his mother in the basement, I still fell in love with him for who he was. He was not beating on me then, period. That did not happen for years until we moved to Europe. And once I was living in Italy, in isolation is how abusive men get you. See, it wasn't like it just happened. Hey, what's your name? Char. Oh, slap. No, it was nothing like that. So,
anyway, my point was, these are the girls that were telling him no up and down, and these were young girls, and these were the things that they were thinking about. And it's not like they were thinking about it because it just came out of the blue for them. This is what you're taught. This is what you hear from your family, specifically the women in your family, not really coming from the guys. This is what you're hearing from your female friends. This is what you're hearing from TV and everywhere around you. He ended up marrying a woman who is 6 years older than him, I think. But anyway, he ended up marrying an older woman. That's what ended up happening. So it's a woman who's not listening to these constant naggings of, you need a guy who this and you need a guy who that and blah, 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 blah. He actually ended up getting with an older woman because younger women follow too much, what their friends say, what their family say, what TV's saying, what Char is saying. They follow that too much. So my point is, for you to be in a young marriage, it can be done, but you have to have the positive support. Whether if it's not your family, if you need to go to a marriage counselor and get that support, then that's what you need to do. I know a couple of people who've been married since high school, and they're still married, and I've been out of high school for some years, some decades. I'm old. I've been out of high school for a while, and they're still going strong. But the difference with them is that both sides of their family actually are positive reinforcements for them. Now, if they're having people in their lives constantly saying what Char is saying, you're too young, you're not mature enough, because you're never mature enough. Living with somebody over and over, you're seeing them every freaking day. For how many years can it get annoying?
You make it sound so horrible.
You start to hate the way they brush their teeth. Look at this guy.
It can get annoying because if you don't have positive, like you go talk to your friend, like, oh my gosh, this guy came in today and just one more time he put his socks in front of the door. Your friend goes,
right.
There's other guys out there that wouldn't do that. I've been telling you for years.
Right.
What is that going to do? That's just going to pound in your head. You know what? I'm going to get a divorce. If you're going to, or you have a friend that says, well, it's just socks, but he pays the entire mortgage and he's a great father. You know what I'm saying? You need that positive reinforcement in your life. You need to not listen to people who are naysayers. If you love where you are and you love your relationship, there are going to be things that you have problems with because that's just life. There's no way that you can live with someone in the same confined space over a period of years that you're not going to find something wrong with them. However, you need to always look at the bigger picture, and you need to always look at the positives rather than the negatives. Now, if this guy's beating your ass, that's completely different. But if he's a great husband, a great father, he checks off all your boxes on what you're looking for, don't listen to people saying that, you got married too young, there's better stuff out there, or there's always somebody who has more money. or because even if you got married when you were 50, there is always somebody better. There's always more money. There's always cuter guys, et cetera, et cetera. So my point is the key to a great marriage, if you're getting married young, if you're getting married old, is keep your business to yourself. If you need help, go to those people that you know are positively going to help you. If you don't have that in your life, go to a marriage counselor because that's their job to help you see the positivity in your marriage. And there's no wrong time to get married. If you found your one, you found your one.
And don't put your problems on social media and ask for. Don't put your problems on social media and ask for advice.
Oh my
exactly.
God!
I see that every day.
Social media. Do not put your problems on there.
That's a marriage killer.
Do not tell your friends your problem. If your family are a bunch of naysayers, do not tell them your problems. Keep your business to yourself. And like I said,
I still say wait until you're mature enough, and whatever that age might be.
Wait until you're mature enough. Because you will never be mature
wait until you're mature enough.
There's always a sense of immaturity in everybody.
Whatever that age might be to you, just make sure that you really believe that you're both mature.
How the hell would you know that if you're young?
Look, get counseling.
How do you know what age it is?
How you handle that. Get counseling first and see how you handle that.
In the meantime, piss away the relationship that could have lasted a lifetime because you think that you're not ready.
Get counseling together as a couple. Logic, hello. You're not.
Why would you get counseling together if you've already put in your head that you shouldn't be together because you're too young?
To see if you. Hello, this is my twist. My new twist. This is my updated version. See if you feel that you're both compatible enough to go forward, okay? Because a lot of times without counseling, it can make a difference. It could. Because then you can see firsthand this guy's an idiot or not.
Look, here's what I say. Don't base your relationship off of sex or money. Get with a person for the right reasons, and you'll be fine. All of the rest of the whores and gold diggers and stuff out there, let them clamor and do battle with each other. You keep it on your relationship to yourself.
Good advice.
And yes, I agree with BJ 1,000%. Social media is a relationship killer. Keep people out of your business.
Killer.
For real.
Yes, definitely.
And don't even listen. And not even positive stuff. Don't even take pictures of what island you just went to. Keep it because people hate. People see that.
They might go
and the next thing you know, they're just looking and waiting for something to say.
Yeah. It's true.
Well, everybody have a great week.
Yep.
I hope we learned a lot here today. I think we did.
We learned a lot, Char.
Thank you
for your input.
Good. I think we all did.
We'll see you here next week.
I appreciate everyone's
advice. Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on No Conduct Radio. Thank you for joining us. Peace out, everyone.
Goodbye, No Conduct panel, and to all our listeners, have a great week. Bye.
Lisa, you know I was waiting for it, right?
I know.